Welcome back, everybody, to the In Off the Bench podcast, part 3, brought to you by Jesus One Apparel, John 16:33, empowering young men and women, and of course, Chinook Cedary, 8 flavors, mild to wild, the best in the game. But this is the most important segment to me. I'm an LSU fan. Everybody knows that. And Kade Anderson is absolutely shoving. So, my dude, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Bro, it is. I wrote down how many games I've seen you in person this year. So it's Purdue, Fort Wayne out the gate, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Arkansas, and then Texas A&M Hoover. So I feel like a blessed person just to get to watch LSU baseball as much as I do, but to see you shove the way you have, to see your parents every single one of those outings, to see how into it they are. And it was funny, man. I told your mom, I was like, did you realize you get so much airtime? Because I wasn't watching, I was there, but I had people messaging talking about how much she was on there. So I thought it was pretty funny. But I know for you, it's got to be exciting to have a mom who's absolutely all in.
Yeah. She's a big time supporter, and really, like you said, it's been a privilege to watch LSU as well. I mean, as a dude growing up in Louisiana, that's kind of what you dream about. And for me, kind of, it's like the major leagues of a kid of childhood growing up in Louisiana. You want to wear the purple and gold, so for me, it's a pretty cool honor.
Yeah, I mean, and we knew you were going to do big things this year, but I'd be lying. I mean, you've exceeded my expectations. You and Anthony both. Like, I didn't know I was going to have 2023 vibes. Like with Skeens and Ty Floyd, it feels like that all over again. It feels like you have two aces that I don't feel like anybody can line up on the other side and beat us. And I was looking at your stats: 8-1, 3.54 ERA, 145 Ks to only 24 walks. Obviously, the K's is a big story. You have a lot of big outings, Oklahoma notably. But I wanted to talk pitches with you because something that I kind of didn't do last time. Usually, Daniel does it as the pitching coach, and former pitcher. But I wanted to ask about the pitches in your arsenal and what do you feel like has really been working for you? Because I mean, to have that many Ks, you got to feel like there's a couple pitches that you've just really been able to work around and really get these batters chasing.
Yeah. So for me, I think I work off of my fastball, and that's if you look at the numbers, I throw that the most, and so working off of that, and I feel pretty comfortable with the four pitches I have, and that's the nice thing about having four pitches. You can, on some days, you're not going to have a feel for one of the pitches, and you can always go to another one. So just being versatile and uh, just being consistent with everything we do. And you mentioned Anthony has really helped. I think we help each other and continuing to get better and pushing each other. And you see that from the beginning of the season where we could have done better at times, and like just learning from each other and learning from the experiences we've had and just communicating on and off the field.
Yeah, and I mean, I love it. Two completely different pitchers. So, you talk about being fastball heavy. He's obviously a guy with the off speed, and so y'all can help each other. Both of y'all's strengths can help mold each other. And what's funny about your outings, you said you've had some that aren't your best. The Oklahoma one, the reason it sticks out to me, not because it's the best stat line, but it was cold, man. Like it was that a determining factor, and it have anything to do with it, or just it happened to be cold, but that was the day you were shoving.
Yeah, I think being cold actually kind of like puts you in a state where you don't get over like stimulated, you don't get too hot, so you never really run out of energy. So I think that maybe looking back at it, the cold does help in some ways, but obviously you're not throwing as hard, and I mean there's always going to be something that's a little different from each outing. So looking back at that one, I mean, I held my stuff well throughout the game, and I think that's what allowed me to get deep into the game.
Yeah, the weather is what determined my pick. So I had the option, could go to Knoxville that weekend, watch them against A&M, or I could go LSU Oklahoma. I saw the weather. I was like, you know what, man, I'll catch LSU next time. And then you actually got done with your performance first. So I was like, man, I really messed up. Then Liam Doyle ends up throwing a no-hitter. So it was like, man, I could have gone to either place and got, an elite outing, which leads to, when y'all win against each other, that environment, man. 9:55 start time, and yes, the crowd was cut in half, but it was absolutely electric. I got the recordings of your strikeout videos. The 5,000 6,000 people, how many ever it was, man, was loud. Just how cool was it? Like, did you ever envision yourself pitching like between 10 and 12 o'clock, having the crowd that amped?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of the 23 Super Regional and with Skeens on the mound at I'm not sure what time it was, but I think there are some similars there, and LSU versus Tennessee is a pretty hyped matchup. So I think that had to do with it a little bit, but really just owning the process, and at the same time, it's just a game. It doesn't matter what time, you still got to go out there and perform and execute. So
Well, I know this, if you're going to play till 1:16 a.m. twice, you might as well win them, right? And at home. So that was the cool thing. I was seeing the guys after the game, and I told them, I said, it wouldn't be the same if you lost with it. And it's like, yeah, because none of them were saying they felt tired, but if it was the other way around, it'd probably be a sad ride home. But really cool that and that's what I liked when I saw the schedule for Hoover for you to pitch, right? I was like, we got Kade on a Friday night, and there's possible weather coming in. I was like, this is what we do. Like,
yeah, you don't want to play the Tigers at 1 o'clock in the morning.
no, hey, what's funny this year is not just an LSU thing; it's been across the country. How hard is it for you in your preparation when these weather reports and constantly not actually knowing when you're going to pitch?
Yeah, I mean, in some scenarios, it's tough when you're preparing to start at 6 o'clock and you don't start till 10. But I think that's just part of it, and just how you adapt from one situation to another, and you got to be ready to go whenever that first pitch is called. So really just learning from those experiences, and now that I've been through it, I think it's gotten a lot easier and kind of know how to prepare for those things now.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I got a note for you, non LSU. I know you guys. I've interviewed 500 plus y'all over the last 5 years, and I know that guys don't study draft boards. They look at college, but you know where your name is. There's no way that you don't. Like, how excited are you? Obviously, you're focused on right now, but every kid's dream is to play professional baseball. You go to LSU to win national championships and get drafted. That's plain and simple. And so you're achieving every dream. Just how excited are you about the idea of hearing your name up at the top of the draft board in the first round, top 10 picks? Like a new one came out today. Like, do you get pretty excited hearing that, or do you genuinely just try not to focus on that at all?
Yeah, I think obviously as a kid, everyone wants to play Major League Baseball, but for me, like I said, like this is the major leagues for me, and just I was actually in 23. I was in Omaha watching that final World Series, and I think that's my dream, and just continuing to go week by week. We got a regional this week, and that's really what I'm focused on right now. And when we get to that position, I think that yeah, it'd be a cool experience and really just taking it all in.
Well,
You
I
only get to
tell
do
you
it
what,
once.
to back up what you're saying. So we had Skeens on here early in the season that year, and we always asked that question that we asked you: would you rather win or be the first pick in the draft and $10 million or a national championship? He said national championship. We had him on after he was the first pick, and he doubled down and said, I would not trade my national championship for anything. And he's not even a guy that grew up loving LSU the way you did. So I know without a fact that was your answer, and that would still be your answer even if you were drafted 1-1. It's still nothing could compare if you were able to complete the ultimate goal of winning a national championship in Omaha.
Yeah, I mean nothing can compare to that. And like I said, I was there, and I would have dreamed of being that experience. So just continuing to just live in the moment, and you don't get these days back. So I mean, it's been a dream, and just continuing to go day by day and taking it all in.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about some other guys, and then I'll let you get out of here. Obviously, and they asked Jay Johnson about it, but I want to ask you. Obviously, I was in Hoover, and getting to see Newt and getting to see Myers and getting to see Shores have such a great game, complete outing from all three of them. Obviously, two of them touching 102. That those are your guys. Those are your pitching staff. How excited were you to see those three guys go out there? And what a good time, right? Like, because you need to know who's your guys going into the postseason, and those three guys show, hey, we can be those guys.
Yeah, I think for those three, and I think you can name five others, but those are the guys that pitched this weekend. But it's kind of what you like. It was a matter of time before that kind of stuff happened, and we saw it all fall and spring before the season started, and you kind of know what those guys are capable of, and it's good to finally like for them to pay off when it means the most, because the regionals are coming up and they got to be ready to go. And I think yeah, it's obviously a blessing for guys like Kaysen and Zach to to know they got company as well. And we have so many guys in our pitching staff that can be those guys. It's just they got the opportunity this weekend to show it off.
Yeah,
And
it has so many similarities and parallels to 2023 because you remember, Nate Ackenhausen and Griffin Herring and them, they weren't having some monster years along the way. They really had their coming out party through the whole postseason and then dominated in Omaha. And so you're kind of seeing that same thing. And that was something Jay alluded to. He said, guys are supposed to get better throughout the year. They're not supposed to be at their best early, and every single one of y'all, because you talked about the hiccups with you and Anthony, and it feels like this pitching staff is just really coming complete. And now it's about getting that batting lineup fine tuned. But last question I got for you, just the vibe of the team, man. Obviously, when you're at home, it makes it that much better. But man, this is what y'all have been working all year for. What's the vibe of the team like? I mean, is it feel like a lot more business, or is it actually like a lot more excitement?
yeah, I think it's just everyone's calm, and I think we know like we're comfortable being on top, and we get to host the regional and super regional here, and I think that's when you come to LSU, that's what you hope to accomplish, and the transfers that came in is that's what they dreamed of, and playing in front of these fans, it's obviously a huge advantage for us, just kind of getting the crowd going, and we're super pumped up. But I think at the same time, like you said, I think it's business, and it's another week of baseball, and our heads are wrapped around winning Omaha. So
Well,
this is
and I
another
tell
step
everybody
for us.
they can't sleep on Little Rock in the sense of I get their ranking, whatever. I was at Kids Day at Ole Miss, the day game that they had against Little Rock, who beat Ole Miss, and obviously you see how good a team Ole Miss is. So this shows just on that given day. I tell people, hey, we know that LSU's a lot better team, but we know that Ole Miss is a better team, and now on that day they lost. So definitely got to stay focused. It's got to be business, got to be locked in. I do got to know, man. If you're on the bump, what is the go-to sunflower seed right now, or is it gone?
I would say I don't do either on the mound, but when I'm in the dugout, yeah, I like the Parmesan ones. I'm not sure what
That's
Parmesan.
pretty funny considering that was Paul's go-to. Y'all really are. Y'all you got the same thing going. Maybe you get drafted high too. Just go somewhere better than Pittsburgh. That's all you got to hope for, right?
Look for whoever picks me, I'll be happy with.
You say that. That's what he said, and he's really eating those words right now. I think he actually got the win today, but it's tough when your offense doesn't ever back you up. But I love seeing the parallels. I love that all your dreams are coming true at LSU, and I hope it finishes with the pinnacle of it all, of winning the national championship. But I appreciate you taking some time before you do, man. I look forward to seeing your parents, watching you go out there and pitch, man, and just continue to have fun with it. You get to play a kids game in the best stadium in America, so just don't ever take it for granted, and just continue to love what you do.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all's time, and Jim, like always, it's a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. We'll see you this weekend, man. That's Kade Anderson, everybody. We got one more episode in store. We got Coach Bobby Miranda. He's going to try to convince us how the ACC can make an impact in these regionals. We know it's all about the SEC, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll have Coach Bobby and Daniel with us.